Well, this man, again, is one of the best producers a girl could ever hope to have, one of the finest writers of this story salon. We always are eager to hear his stories. We are always delighted. He is, in a word, dazzling. Mr. Dan Farren.
Haircuts can be traumatic. The haircut itself is a bonding moment between two people. For men, it's like a guy thing. It's like going into the smoking lounge or whatever. For women, it's a very intimate moment between them where they can talk. I've had two bad haircuts in my life. They both have been very traumatic. The first one, when I was a little kid, my father took me to this little barber, and the guy was drunk. And I tried several times while the guy was cutting to let my father know this, because the guy was there going, I'm just going to cut a little bit here. Now you lean your head just a little bit forward. You nice boy. You hold still. My hair looked like someone had taken a weed whacker to it. And all the way home, Dad says to me, I guess there was something wrong. I said, yeah, Dad, the first clue should have been he was drinking the blue water out of the thing with the combs in it. And then later on, many years later, I decided in a moment of weakness to save some money and go to one of those beauty schools on a Saturday afternoon where they'll cut your hair like for $1.50. They were all Vietnamese women, and I'm not making a joke here, but I mean, she was cutting my hair and she had no idea how to speak English, so I just sat there and she kept cutting and cutting, and I saw all of a sudden she took her scissors and cut a big old chunk right off there. And she gets scared and she calls over another woman, and again, I'm not imitating, but this is what I heard. Oh, there, I guess is a universal language, means, and another woman came over and said, oh, don't worry, you can't mess it up. And I'm like, yes, you can. I could be walking down the street, I look like Curly, people will throw cheese at me from the Three Stooges, So recently I went in and I had a haircut at this very shishi place you may not have heard of. It's called Supercuts. And usually what I do is, see, this hair is very low maintenance. I usually get like a number 4 on the side, have them leave a little bit on top. Shari and I did a makeover show where they colored my hair for a while, and I just never could really, I didn't want to keep up with it, and I couldn't do a very good job with it, and it was really very frustrating for me. Instead of looking good, it just looked like someone had rubbed a melting Hershey bar in my head. That's all it looked like. It was just this awful shade of brown. So I go, and there's this very nice woman there, and she looks like Tina Louise, and for the sake of the story, we will refer to her as Tina. So she's cutting my hair, and I'm looking down, and she says, how's your day? And I was like, well, it's not a real great day, And she goes, yeah, I'm not having a very good day either. My son's going to jail today. Oh, really? And she goes, yeah. She goes, he shouldn't have been driving on Sunset drunk. He hit that guy. The guy was drunk anyway. And the guy got up and said he was fine, but later the neck's all messed up, and now he's going to jail for 30 days. And then she proceeds to go into this litany of past sins from her entire life while my head is pushed down and she's cutting. And she's telling me how, her husband was an alcoholic. And at this point, I learned that the woman who was cutting my hair has been doing this for about a month and a half. And she spent a year correspondence online getting a license to cut hair. So now I look up and I see my hair. Let's go to evidence exhibit A. Okay. Now, and what you're going to notice here, it's a little too poofy right around here. This is great if you're like Louis XIV. But if you want a decent haircut, look, here's the thing is, if I want my hair to look like a toupee, I'll just shave it all off and buy one. So I said to her, can you see the quadrant if you can?
Oh, nice. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. So I decided, I said to her, well, you need to take a little more off the sides here. But, I don't see any earage. I don't see ears anywhere there, and I want to see the ears. So she starts cutting, and she begins to tremble while she's cutting my hair. Now, all I need her to do is just thin this side out and go all the way around over here. It's kind of like the magic bullet of haircuts. All she has to do is get over here and avoid being Governor Connolly. That's all she has to do. For those of you born after 63, I'll explain that one later. But she starts cutting, and she gets halfway through here, and then she starts to panic and shake. So now I have like even less. So she starts cutting some more and more and more, and then we come up with exhibit 2. Okay? Folks, whoops, upside down. It's hammer time. So, this is great that you're a character from Mortal Kombat. You know, if you want to look like that, if you want to have something, you know, I have no idea. She has done this. It's kid without the play is what it is at this point. I have this big old thing on top here. Now, we have ears. This is very good. We have ears on both sides. But this thing on top, and I say to her, well, let's keep some more off the top. It doesn't have to be that bad. So she explains to me that she had somebody in there recently who she gave a haircut to, and he didn't like it, and he complained. And this now has made her gun shy. She is scared to death at this point to ever cut anybody else's hair. So now she turns to me, and she's like near tears and shaking, and my hair is halfway between here. So she calls over her boss and says, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to cause trouble. I mean, I don't want to be like I was last week. Can you please show me again how you fix this thing? And the boss has that look that your boss always has when they've told you 15 times how to do something, and now they're telling you once again. And while I'm sitting there and she's showing the lady, what you need to do is you don't use the clippers on the sides of the comb. That's when you use the scissors to thin it out a little bit. So in the meantime, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm watching all the co-workers behind her walking back and forth and looking at each other like, I feel bad for this woman. I feel bad for Tina. But what they eventually did was she cut it down, got it to right about where it is now, and it's done. It's fine. It's a good haircut. And being the guilty white boy that I am, I tipped her way too much for that. And I felt I had to, because I really know that when I go back in another 6 or 7 weeks, she's not going to be there. Thank you very much.
Mr.